Hello, I'm Lewis. This is the Riverside Museum. You may ask, why are we at the Riverside Museum? And why am I holding a phone that looks completely broken? Well, I can give you an answer to the first question. We're at the Riverside Museum because it's the start of the Kelvin Walkway. The Kelvin Walkway links the Riverside Museum to Mackay, a suburb of Glasgow, and Mackay is also the starting point of the West Highland Way. So in a sense, this links the Riverside Museum in downtown Glasgow to the rest of the Scottish Trail system. That's really cool. Or is it? Because Kelvin Walkway has a few problems. But we will find that out later, so come along and follow us as we walk the Kelvin Walkway. And I have the first problem. It didn't take me long. Basically, I walked 5 steps, but already, where do we go? The Kelvin, nowhere to be found. Road signs, nowhere to be found. Any sign of the trail, no idea. So, we're just kind of gonna wing it and walk that way. So it's about 5 minutes later, and we have already left the Kelvin and are now in this residential area. After a brief residential stint, we have made it to the Kelvin again. We are now entering Kelvin Grove Park, arguably Glasgow's nicest park, so this is probably going to be some of the nicest walkway we're going to have today. Look what it is! A sign that says Kelvin Walkway. So now we know we have to cross the river, which is good because we've not crossed the river so far. Hello again. It's been a while for me, probably not for you. We're still in Kelvin Grove Park, kind of like near the Botanical Gardens area, and this part is really nice. It's like a park, and the walkway as well. It's a good walkway. There's bridges and the river's right here, and it's just very green, so this park gets a thumbs up. So we're now further outside Glasgow, and it's definitely suburban. You would hope that as we get out of Glasgow it would be more nature, but this is where the walk has led us, which is slightly strange, and also not really made for like large groups of walkers. Like, if I lived here, I wouldn't really want walkers come through this residential area all the time. It makes me wonder, is Kelvin Walkway conceptually flawed? Does it just not work to have a walkway lead out of the city because, like, inevitably it's going to be residential? You would hope not. You would hope that it's a concept that can work, but this clearly is kind of like a pointer that it doesn't. So we now have reached a part of the Kelvin Walkway that really is not that nice. There's a lot of litter around, and also like a lot of glassy bits. So if you're a family and you're walking this, or you're for any reason barefoot, it's not great and it's not well kept. We're clearly now no longer at all in Glasgow, really. And the last good hour or two has been really nice. I'm sure you've seen from all the incredible walking shots. And this is the enjoyable part of the Kelvin Walkway, I would say. And maybe that's also a good time to speak of all the potential it would have, because this could be the 8th leg of the West Highland Way, and then people could just start in downtown Glasgow, and that'd be really cool, if it weren't for the fact that the first 3 hours of Kelvin Walkway really are not like anything that you really want to sell to tourists, or just people who want to do the West Highland Way. So I think it's like really a missed opportunity, and I personally find the concept of like a walk that you don't have to travel somewhere for quite exciting, and that's why I wanted to like why I went and tried it out the first time, and then was quite disappointed. And it's not being heavily advertised, but it's definitely out there, and if you look for hikes in and around Glasgow, you will find it. And I think that's not really something like you don't really want to represent Scottish walkways with that, because a lot of people, before they go into like bigger and harder walks, they might try this and then they'll really like not have a great experience. This is why I think it's really necessary that something is done about Kelvin Walkway, because you want it to represent Scottish trails, because it could be like an entry trail. I think I'll enjoy a bit more of the pastures and the greenery and all the smell of wild garlic that's currently apparently in season, and see you all later. Finally made it to Mackay. We are now at the starting point of the West Highland Way, so if we had more time and energy, we could call it a day and then tomorrow embark on a much bigger journey to the West Highlands. As you can see, I'm no longer walking, I am now sitting. We're on the train back to Glasgow Queen Street, which is another benefit of Kelvin Walkway, because it's very easy to get around with public transport. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I hope you enjoyed my little opinionated follow me around of Kelvin Walkway. Other than that, yeah, not much to say. See you in the next one.